Today I'm going to make a video going over the Stihl HP Ultra versus the Stihl High Performance Oil. A lot of you guys coming in the shop always ask me what's the difference between the two oils, which one's better. I also get a lot of questions online as well. So in this video, I'm going to take the time to explain it a little bit more in depth, show you some pistons that I've taken out of saws, and just give you a general run through on oil and fuel in general. So let's jump right into the video. So let's start with the obvious. The orange bottle and the silver bottle. The orange bottle is going to be semi-synthetic. The silver bottle is going to be fully synthetic. So what does that mean exactly? Well, let me explain. So just like you, I was curious about the two products, so I went on Stihl's website. Not a ton of information on there. I went through some of my manuals and literature that I've had. Still, not a lot of information on there. So I did go into AI and I did print off some results, and I want to share with you what AI is sharing with me. So let's dive in. So let's start out with the fully synthetic HP Ultra. So basically the formulation, obviously fully synthetic. Cleaning, this has superior cleaning features, reduces carbon buildup. So I will show you guys some pistons that I took off some 500Is last week, and it'll show you the difference between using the different products that are out there. Lubrication, it has superior lubricating qualities for increased protection, according to AI. Fully synthetic is also biodegradable. 80% in 21 days is what it says. It makes it environmentally friendly. So performance, if you look anywhere, anybody's YouTube videos, all the general information out there, HP Ultra fully synthetic is what's recommended for commercial use, heavy use, where you're using the machine all the time. So the other oil, the high performance oil, is actually going to be more recommended for homeowners, light use, stuff like that. And I will show you reasons why when we get into these pistons. So now let's get into the high performance oil. So this is a mineral based oil instead of fully synthetic. It cleans less effectively than the HP Ultra. It will clog up your spark arresters more frequently. I have seen that in the shop. I can tell when somebody is using something other than Stihl HP Ultra on their equipment. It's pretty obvious. You get a lot of that oily residue on the exhaust, especially around the spark arresters. So adequate lubrication for this, less biodegradable since it's not fully synthetic. And this is suitable to use in all of your Stihl equipment, other equipment as well. Just know that it is not as superior of a product as the HP Ultra being fully synthetic, but it will still lubricate if that is all you got access to. Again, with Stihl HP Ultra being fully synthetic, looking at my notes here, it's going to be engineered to produce a pure and uniform molecular structure. So you're going to have more consistency with this oil as far as lubrication goes. It's going to cover the pistons a lot more evenly, and your wear and your burn pattern is going to be a lot lighter than using some of the other stuff that is not fully synthetic. Fully synthetic oil is going to be used with highly refined base oils derived from petroleum and in some cases materials like natural gas. So that is what AI is telling me on that. Just a few more notes on Stihl HP Ultra. Of course, this is generated through AI, searching the entire internet and finding the best articles and trying to summarize everything for me, so that way it makes it easier for you to understand as well as myself. So a couple key points on here. Since this is an artificially created product, it is chemically engineered to produce a pure and uniform molecular structure, meaning that your piston is evenly lubricated better. Some of the natural stuff, the semi-synthetic, is not going to lubricate your piston as well. So as well is the key. It'll still lubricate your piston, but not as well. So you're going to notice the burn patterns. You're going to notice the oil residue if you take your cylinder off and inspect the piston. Burn patterns especially, you're going to have a lot more uniformity with the Stihl HP Ultra. How this is made, the oil starts with highly refined base oils derived from petroleum, in some cases materials such as natural gas. The additives are then mixed into the oil. These additives are what boost the final product's performance and provide enhanced characteristics like wear protection, friction reduction, and detergency. So when I take these engines apart, if there's scoring on the piston, when I'm inspecting the piston, you will notice the color of the piston a lot different if you're using a fully synthetic product like the Stihl HP Ultra versus the high performance oil. So HP Ultra is going to be more of a golden color. Your piston, the face on the front and the back should be more of a silver color. If you're getting into the HP, it's going to be a lot more darker, more of like a chocolate brown. Sometimes, depending on how it's mixed and the gas that's being used, it can be almost black at times. I've seen a lot, and I've seen a lot of different brands as well. And the fully synthetic, regardless if it's a Stihl HP Ultra or a different brand, is going to burn a lot cleaner in the machine, and you're going to have noticeable less color on the piston as you are versus a semi-synthetic product. Of course, having my conversation with AI, I wanted to know who AI said it has the best fully synthetic oil on the market. And so it gave me a list of the top 3, and these are in no particular order. These are just the 3 answers that it gave me. First one is Amzoil Sabre Professional. Second one is Echo Red Armor. And the third is Stihl HP Ultra. It did not give Husqvarna. It did not give any other brands out there. Those were the top 3 that it recommended. Then I asked it who was the worst oil out there, and of course it didn't want to say that on there. So it was basically telling me to go the fully synthetic route. Any of the fully synthetic routes were far superior to the semi-synthetic routes. And of course, some of the obvious running features that are different between the 2 products. The fully synthetic is going to burn cleaner. So Stihl has Motomix, Husqvarna has their XP fuel. There's other brands out there as well. This particular stuff is mixed with the HP Ultra. It burns really clean. It almost burns like that new car scent that you have when you get into your car. It doesn't really have that smogginess, and a lot of that is due to the fuel that's in this. This is highly refined fuel. It does not have the additives in there that you have when you go to the pump and get gas, because those are going to have a whole bunch of additives they put in there for vehicles. So just know that there is a difference between this stuff and pump fuel, even if you're mixing in HP Ultra. So regardless of the mixing that you're using, fuel plays a critical role in your gas and your oil mixture as well. So I get a little bit preachy to this with my customers. Even if you buy a quality product, whether it's Stihl, whether it's Echo, whether it's Husqvarna, know that if you buy crappy pump fuel, no matter how good this lubricates, you're still going to have problems. What I recommend is if you guys are going to the gas station, use gas that comes from a dedicated pump. A dedicated pump is if I want to go get 87 octane gas, the only thing that comes out of that pump is 87 gas. So if you have a shared pump where it pumps multiple fuels through there, just know that the first quarter gallon, half gallon, however long that stream is going to be whatever the person ahead of you got before you fill up your gas can. Let's say you have a 1 gallon gas can and you end up filling up with whatever the person ahead of you got, ethanol gas, low grade gas, whatever, that is going straight into your gas can before the stuff that you bought is going into your gas can. So if you have a small gas can, the percentage that's going into that gas can is going to be a lot higher than if you took that pump and put it into your truck first, pumped into there, and then once your gas was coming through the line, filled your gas can. That's how I would recommend doing it. That would be the safest way to make sure you're not getting bad gas in there. And also make sure that you're using a gas station that goes through gas frequently, and try not to fill up when they're filling the tanks. If you fill up while they're filling the tanks, it can release the sediment that's sitting at the bottom of those fill tanks. You can end up getting in their gas and have problems with it as well. I would say the success or failure of your mixed gas partially comes from the fuel that you're putting in there as well. So this can only do so much, but if you're putting crap fuel in there, you're going to probably have problems with your piston. Definitely going to have problems with your carburetor. Sometimes you're going to have starting issues because the fuel will go bad sooner. Anytime you guys are mixing up your fuel, I would also recommend a fuel stabilizer in there. And keep in mind, pump fuel is only good for about 30 days if you're getting the lower end stuff. Premium stuff, maybe up to 60 days. But past that point, if you do not stabilize that fuel, you're probably going to have issues with it down the road. Most all the time I have fuel issues. Customers have gas exceeding 60 days. So I would dump the gas out of your equipment if it's been in there longer than 60 days. And if you guys are filling up your gas cans, make sure it is completely empty before you put fresh fuel in there. Because if you put fresh fuel in with bad fuel, you still have bad fuel. Now you just have more of it. Now let me show you guys some pistons, the burn on them, and what it looks like having different mixes in there. So I'm going to have the top 3. I'm going to have the Stihl HP Ultra, I'm going to have an Amzoil, and I'm going to have an Echo Red Armor, and I want to show you guys the difference in the burn. So here are 3 pistons that I got out of Stihl 500 iSaws. All of them had scoring on there. All of them had different products. The first one was the Stihl HP Ultra. Second one was Echo Red Armor. Third one was Amzoil. So just look at the difference of the coloration on these. Stihl HP Ultra is going to have the lightest, most even color on there. This is what the Echo Red Armor looks like. And this is what the Amzoil looked like. Quite a bit darker. Now let's take a look at the pistons. Obviously there's scoring on them, so don't let that sway. But right here, Stihl HP Ultra, Echo Red Armor, and Amzoil. So all of them are pretty clean. Some nice color to them. Looking how they should look, minus the major scoring that's on there that destroyed the pistons. As you can see on the pistons, the faces all had pretty much about the same coloring to them. The tops, the Stihl HP Ultra was a lot lighter. The darkest one of the bunch was the Amzoil, and right in the middle was the Echo Red Armor. All three of these failed for different reasons, but it wasn't due to the oil mix-ins in there. A lot of the stuff that I see coming in the shop, customers have trashed their saws. They don't clean them. They don't take care of them. Various issues with that, and these three met their demise because of those situations, not because of a fuel-related issue. So I've had equipment come into the shop before after I've inspected the piston where the face of the piston on the exhaust side is completely black. And when I say black, it's like somebody took a Sharpie marker and went up and down the whole entire thing and painted it black. So you can tell when somebody's using crappy oil mix-ins. You can tell when somebody's using fully synthetic quality stuff. So my recommendation is a repair shop, not because I'm trying to sell something, strictly off of what I see as repairs. I would recommend the fully synthetic over the semi-synthetic oil. Whether you guys get Stihl HP Ultra, whether you get Echo Red Armor, whether you get Amzoil, Husqvarna, whatever flavor that you guys want to use, just getting fully synthetic is going to be one step up over the other. Now we can have quite a bit of a debate on which of the fully synthetic oils properly lubricates the pistons. I sell Stihl, I sell Husqvarna. Both of those, from what I've seen, do an adequate job. I know a lot of you guys out there are fans of Red Armor. I can speak for Red Armor. When I got this piston, there was tons of residual oil on that piston. There was tons of oil in the crankcase. So if that's what you guys are going for and you want a whole bunch of extra residual on there, that's fine. This has adequate residual on there as well on the Stihl HP Ultra, even the Amzoil. So that's lubricating your piston fine. And then again, if you guys are mixing this heavier, if you're mixing it 40-to-1 instead of 50-to-1, you're going to have more oil. But just keep in mind, if you are over mixing your oil, you can actually cause a lean run issue, and you can actually do some scoring on your piston. You have to have the right mixture of fuel and oil, so that way it's watered down properly, so that way it lubricates the piston. And if you're putting too much oil in there, it's going to be too thick, and you're going to be doing the opposite of what you're trying to do. My ultimate recommendation would be for using whatever the manufacturer suggests that you run through their equipment, whether it be in Stihl HP Ultra, whether it be using Echo Red Armor, whether it be using Husqvarna XP. Just know that if you use their products, it's probably going to work the way it's supposed to work, just because they've done all the trials, they've done the tests, they've done the engineering on it. And of course, if they tell you to mix it 50-to-1, chances are you should mix it 50-to-1. I know there's a lot of debate out there whether you should mix it 40-to-1, but from what I've seen, 50-to-1 is adequate for these new products. I hope this video answered some of your guys' questions on the Stihl HP and the HP Ultra, and even oils in general. So if it did help you guys out, drop a like down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, check out my other content on the channel. I've got repairs that come through the shop on a daily basis. I've got tools, tips, and tricks that I use to get customers' equipment fixed and right back out the door. And don't forget to check out the description down below. In the description, I have my Amazon affiliate links. Those are a great way to support the channel. On the Amazon account, I've got all sorts of tools. I've got all sorts of products on there that I highly recommend, stuff that I actually use in the shop, stuff that you guys should have in your shop, stuff that'll make your life a lot easier. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day.